Hello, my name is Shane Cofield, and this is my final presentation. This presentation will be about the Star Wars Clone Wars by Genndy Tartakovsky, made in 2003. The synopsis of Clone Wars 2003. This series is basically in between Episode 2 and Episode 3. It's right after Episode 2, it ends where Episode 3 actually starts. Or it's because during the time of production, this was actually used as a way to market Episode 3. This series showcases the key battles and events of the Clone Wars focused on the Jedi Knights as they lead clone armies against the Separatist forces. Unlike the later Clone Wars series, this one is known for its fast-paced action, stylized animation, and darker tone. My favorite part is the introduction of General Grievous as a fearsome Jedi hunter, building him up as a major threat before Revenge of the Sith. Examples of fast-paced action the examples of the fast-paced action who did it, and as you can see here in these gifs, these are the fast-paced action of the Clone Wars. Whereas Anakin versus Silas Ventress is probably the most iconic fight in the series. The ARC Troopers, the ending scene. If this is familiar to you, this is actually where Episode 3 starts. So this series ends right where Episode 3 starts. There's Mace Windu punching battle droids. This was crazy when I saw it as a kid. And Obi-Wan versus the bounty hunter Dirge in General Grievous' introduction. The man behind this wonderful animation is Genndy Tartakovsky, who's known for making series like Primal, which is currently been going on, Samurai Jack, which is a really famous cartoon, Symbiotic Titan, really underrated if you ask me, and everyone knows the Hotel Transylvania series. He created this too. He uses blocky type of animation to show more smoother and fluent scenes for action while keeping the animation style simple. Now the main characters of the series. Anakin Skywalker, played by Matt Lucas. He's my favorite character in this series, and he's played by Matt Lucas in the Revenge of the Sith video game too, which was made before the movie. Anakin is shown to be a headstrong Padawan and grows up into a strong Jedi Knight. We get to see him struggle with the dark side in many ways with this fight in the Silas Ventress. As you can see in the fight, he progressively starts to fight more aggressively. Commander or Captain Fordo, basically Captain Rex before Captain Rex. Fordo hardly talks in the series, unlike the rest of the clones, but he makes up for it with his actions throughout the series. Fordo is shown to be brave and fearless throughout the series and lead his group of ARC Troopers to victory. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. The master of Anakin Skywalker. He's played by the famous James Arnold Taylor, who's famous for a bunch of other voice acting roles. He also played Harry Osborn in the Spectacular Spider-Man, among other things. Obi-Wan is also a general in the Clone Wars, and he's there to help Anakin on his adventure and steer Anakin in the right direction. Since Anakin, we all know he's headstrong and reckless, he kind of needs Obi-Wan to steer him in the right direction. And later on in this series, you get to see that Anakin's recklessness almost got him killed. Yoda, voiced by Tom Kane, the Grand Master of the Jedi Order and probably the most powerful and the most wise Jedi in the series. He usually delivers philosophical elements of the Clone Wars to give us more insights into the war. Don't mistake his softness as a weakness. The little man can still do some damage. Still, I don't know where he got the horse. It's even shown multiple times in the intro and in this scene here. This is literally the only time we really see the horse ever in Star Wars, but hey, that makes him look cool. Count Dooku, voiced by Corey Burton. Count Dooku is a leader of the Separatists and the main villain of the series, right under his master, Lord Sidious. He runs the Separatist army, every planet that has slipped under his doing. His doing, and ended on the conquest of the rest of the galaxy. He's shown to be elegant but powerful, with his skills with the lightsaber and his force lightning. My favorite villain in the series, General Grievous, voiced by Richard McGonagle. My favorite villain from the series. This group, Grievous doesn't cough until the end because the series explains his cough. Because this was made before Episode 3 came out. Anyways, but he speaks with deadly and robotic articulation. He's a terrifying Jedi killer and leader of the Separatist droid army. After he kills the Jedi, he takes their lightsabers to be part of his collection, and to be used in combat. Grievous is shown to be vicious in combat during using his cybernetics to his advantage in training with Count Dooku. As seen here when he slaughters the clones. One of the craziest scenes as a child when I first saw this. The main themes of the show. One of the main themes of this show is the cost of war, blurring the lines between good and evil. The series shows the physical and emotional toll of the war takes on the Jedi and the clones and even the Separatists. For example, we see Anakin's increasing aggression and moral compromises as he fights. Foreshadowing his eventual fall to the dark side. The brutal tactics employed by both sides and sheer scale of destruction highlight the devastating impact of the conflict. It's highlighted in the episode Nilvan, where Anakin discovers the men of that planet were taken to be experimented and used for weapons for the Separatists. Anakin loses his temper and kills every Techno-Union scientist in a fit of rage. The clones are also shown as individuals with their own personalities, despite being bred for war, which adds a layer of complexity to the narrative. For another example, he's shown to be more calculated and uses hand signals to warn the clones of battle strategies, as seen in one of the gifts. As I put down. My personal enjoyment and recommendation. I really love this series. This has been my favorite series basically as a childhood. There's really great action sequences. I love Genndy's Tartakovsky animation. It really just shows you how fluent the animation is. It makes the combat and scenes great. It makes them has actually higher stakes. The choreography is great. And this series does a really great job of expanding Star Wars mythos. And if you don't want to watch the longer Clone Wars, this is a very good start. You don't have to watch longer because you can watch this one because this series is very, very quick. It's fast-paced and quick. You can basically get to episode 3 by the time this is over. As this was made congruent with episode 8, like 2 years, I think 2 years before episode 3, since it came out in 2005, and this was made during 2003. This series functions as a great complement in between episode 2 and 3. I hope you guys enjoy this too, because it's Star Wars. Who doesn't like Star Wars? It's one of the most unique sci-fi franchises in my opinion. In conclusion, fantastic series overall. Great perspective on the pivotal era in the Clone Wars and in the Star Wars as a period. Thank you for tuning in. But I'm gonna ask y'all one simple question. Which side do you want to take? The Galactic Republic or the Confederacy and the Confederacy of Independent Systems, otherwise known as the Separatist? Here it is. And that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed my presentation, and see you guys on the flip side.